Hi guys, I'm Grace, and today I'm going to talk to you about how volunteering not only changes your city and the people in it, but it also changes yourself. So this is Detroit, and this is where it all began. Over the last year, my project has been to go to a different place in Detroit every other week, and it's really cool because what started as a small school project ended up coming full circle with something I'm really passionate about and really enjoy doing, which is volunteering. So I have some pictures up here of some of the places I went to over my time, and I'm not very photogenic, so let's try not to be too harsh. So first I went to the Redford Theater and saw the movie Psycho, which I really encourage you all to go see because it was just a really good movie. The Redford Theater still uses its original organ, which is kind of a big deal because it's the only place in Detroit that still does, and one of the few in the country. And they play it at the beginning and intermission of each show you see. So during the show, I was really liking it, but I kind of found myself a little distracted during it because I would look up at the ceiling and they have these clouds that move around the ceiling, so I was just a little distracted during the whole time. Next, I went to Legends Grill with my friend, and we did what's called the Burger Challenge. And the Burger Challenge is where you eat a 20-ounce burger, and if you do, you make it up on the Hall of Fame. So we made it, and our picture's up there. It's all autographed. You should go check it out. And as we were checking out, the manager walks up to us and says, "Hey girls, you think that's good? There's a guy up there who ate 4. So it's okay. I'm still proud of myself." Next, I went to the Belle Aquarium, and it just reopened, but before it closed in 2005, it was the longest continually running aquarium in North America. And while I was there were these fish that I've never seen or heard of at any other aquarium I've been to, and I just think that's really impressive since it's in Detroit and in Belle Isle, which has made such a big turnaround in the last year. And last but not least, I went to the Heidelberg Project. And the Heidelberg Project is by an artist named Tyree, who grew up on Heidelberg Street. He went to war, came back, and his street was just destroyed. And he wanted to make it a better place, so he made it a work of art. Each house has a theme, and the house that I'm in front of is covered in stuffed animals. So it just so happened that the week I went, a bunch of arson had been taking place, and most of the houses had been burnt down within a few weeks span. I was showing someone a video the other day of the Heidelberg Project, and Tyree referred to it as his baby and his life. So this man's life was pretty much taken away in a few weeks, and I just felt so bad, but apparently I wasn't alone. As we were driving through, I noticed about 50 or 60 volunteers there helping this man clean up any debris, rubble, or save anything they could so he could potentially build more houses. Tyree was so grateful of these people. I mean, these people are complete strangers taking time out of their day to give back to someone who made such a difference in his community and made such great art. He was just so grateful and thankful for all these people did, and it really showed that people care about him. In the last few years, I've gotten really into volunteering, and I've learned that I really enjoy giving back to my community. Last year, I went and did a service project called the MLK Service Day Project in Detroit. And it's where you go to these streets in Detroit where illegal dumping takes place. So pretty much if contractors or people can't afford to have their trash taken away, they just take it to these streets and dump it. I never knew this was a thing until I saw it for myself, and I was just shocked. There's trash everywhere, and there's anything you could ever think of. There's clothes, shoes, family photos, bathtubs, beds, literally anything. And it was a 4-hour project. It was probably 8 a.m. It was cold. I was really tired, and I was thinking about myself. I was thinking, wow, if I was home, I'd be in bed, maybe just waking up, and I wouldn't have to be here. And it's as if someone was reading my mind, because out of the blue, people from the homes surrounding the street came out and were just really curious about what we were doing. This woman walked up to me and asked, "What were we doing here?" And I said, "Oh, we're volunteering, cleaning up the street. We'll be here for the next 4 hours." This woman was just beside herself. She said she's been wanting to do this for years, but she's never had the time, she's never had anyone to do it with, and she's never had the supplies. So these people went home, got changed, and came back and helped us for the rest of the time. And this is 4 hours later. Depending on your perspective, it's either a big change or not a change at all, but it's a big change to me. I changed these people's lives. They promised me that they would come back after we've gone and help clean up these streets. They promised that they would go move on to other streets, bring in more people, and help make their community different. I'll be the first to admit that before this project, I was not a good volunteer at all. I was solely in it for those extra service hours to look good on my college application to put myself ahead of someone else. But these people showed me that that's not the right thing to do. I was always the person to think, am I really making a difference? Does anyone really care what I'm doing? Am I really changing someone's life? But these people showed me wrong. They taught me that what I do does make a difference, that someone does care, and I am changing someone's life. And that just sparked my interest and love of volunteering. A few months ago, I went and worked in a soup kitchen, and I had the simplest job out of anyone there. I handed out silverware to the people and just asked them how their day was. The stress of the whole situation really showed more in the adults, and you could just tell by the way they're talking to each other, acting, that it was just a really stressful situation. There was this little boy that absolutely changed my life. This little boy's probably about 4 years old. He walked up to every single volunteer, tapped them on the back, you would turn around, he'd wave at you, say hi with this big smile, throw out his arms and give you the biggest hug. This little boy I watched through the whole time I was there. He was there talking with everyone, playing with the kids, laughing, smiling. He was just so positive and happy. This boy's gone through so much already, and he just has such a positive outlook on life. I'm 16, and if something doesn't go my way, it can just completely ruin my day, and it's just done. Now, anytime that I have in a negative attitude or just having a bad day, this little boy seems to pop into my mind with his big smile, and I think to myself, Grace, this little boy can be happy, you can be happy. This little boy can be positive, you can be positive. Think about it. If this little boy who's 4 years old has made this much of an impact on my life, think about what you can do. Everywhere you go needs help. You can do something no matter how big or small. You can give blood. You can go clean up streets. You can go spend time playing with kids. I've done that before. It was so much fun. You can tutor kids. There's so many things you can do. It might seem like I'm only talking about Detroit, but really this goes for anywhere you go. Rome, France, New York, Chicago, Detroit, Venezuela, Zimbabwe. Everywhere needs help in some way, shape, or form, and you can be that change. So if you're feeling inspired, I have some ideas for you. If you're looking in more Detroit area, there's always the Belle Isle Conservancy, which is Belle Isle as a whole. You can go help clean up Detroit and Belle Isle, make it a better place. Or there's the Belle Isle Aquarium, and they always need supplies. They have a list there that you can just bring in things, and they'd be more than grateful because they want to keep their exhibits up. There's Gleaner's Food Bank, which I've done so many times, and every time I do, I feel so great afterwards. It's a lot of work, I'll admit, but you feel so great after, and you know you're doing something good for someone else. Then if you're looking at a more worldwide or international level, there's the Red Cross. You can give blood, or they have something called disaster relief, and Hurricane Katrina, for example, you go, you help, you clean up houses, you make sure people have food, you make sure they have somewhere to stay, and it just makes such a difference in these people's lives. So if I'm gonna leave you with anything, I'm gonna leave you with that everyone should try volunteering. I've learned so much from it, and I'm gonna keep these lessons with me for the rest of my life. So get out there, get involved, go volunteer. Thank you guys.